today we're going to be working on something a little different. It's a snowflake mandala. A mandala is a form of meditation, actually, for Buddhist monks. It is a radial design, so it's a design that's based around a circle. So usually what the monks do is they take little pieces of sand and make like a little pattern on a square, and it creates this great artwork. We are going to do our mandala that looks like a snowflake, and we are going to be doing it in all kinds of pastels and wintry light colors. But the first step to do this is we need to draw some lines. So you're going to need a ruler and a pencil for our first step. So this is a circle design, so we're going to draw a couple of lines, and then each of those lines we're going to make a pattern on those lines. So what I like to do is you're basically going to make an X on your canvas right now. It's a square, so you're going to just line your ruler up on the corner, on the opposite corners, and you're just going to make a straight line going across, well, diagonal line. And then you're going to do that again using the other two corners. So then that center point is pretty much the middle of your canvas, and that is what our design is going to be based around. When you're drawing these lines, just draw them really light. It'll be easier in the long run. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a vertical line that is going to go right through that middle of that X. We're just dividing our canvas into like a pizza pie right now. I am not even going to paint the background of my canvas. I'm going to keep it white, just because this is more about like the process than the actual painting. So there I have my little sections. So on each of these lines we're going to make a pattern using different types of circles. So at this point I want to mix, before we move on to anything, we're going to mix some colors. So you were given 3 colors. You have blue, white, and red. From those 3 colors, we're going to make some other colors. So the first other color that we're going to make, I want to make a lighter blue. So I'm going to put a bunch of white on one of the caps of the paints. I'm using my paintbrush, and I am just going to put a little blue. And when you make the paint, you need to make a good amount, because we're going to use those foam brushes to kind of make circles. So there I have my light blue. So I have my light blue and I have a dark blue. Mixing that up. Now I'm going to wash my brush. On the cap of the white, I'm just going to take a little white. Actually a good amount of white. And then I'm going to add a little red to it. It's going to make a little pink. You don't have to use the pink if you don't want, but it's just giving us other options. So there we have pink. I'm going to stir that red around. So then on my red cap, I'm going to make a purple. So I'm going to put a good amount of red and then just a teeny bit of blue, and keep on adding teeny bits of blue until you get a purple. And you might have to add a little bit of white to get a nice purple. There we go. Getting purple. So now I have my purple, and I'm also going to turn this white into a light purple. Once you think you have all your colors, I'm going to change my white into a light purple. And this is just acrylic paint, so if you have any other acrylic paints at home you want to use, go for it. So at this point, I am going to get all my tools together. So you're going to need your 2 sponges that you got and your paintbrush. All right, so we're going to have some fun now. So this is the fun part. So you have a paintbrush, which we're actually going to use the back of the paintbrush. Then you have 2 sponge brushes, a bigger and a smaller. Hopefully they're not deformed like mine is, but we'll figure it out. And then 2 sponge brushes, and we're also going to use the backs of the sponge brushes to get nice circles either. So I'm going to start off in the middle and then move out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start with blue, and I'm going to start with my biggest circle in the middle. So I'm going to take my blue paint. I'm going to kind of put a good amount of paint so your whole sponge is covered. And right in the middle, I'm just going to dab and twist. That'll give me the greatest likelihood of a nice circle. So there I have my first circle. From that, I am just going to, now I'm going to use the back of my paintbrush. And I'm just going to put some purple dots, light purple dots around there. So I'm going to start just making dots, and some of my dots are not going to be on the line, but that's okay. The lines are just to keep you like in track. All right, so now I'm going to go on to my next circle. I'm going to use a sponge, and you could really do any colors, I'm going to do that same technique, try and get it all covered. And then I am going to just put it down and twirl a little. And I am not going to do that in every line, I'm going to go every other. And I'm just going to work on all those lines now. I'm going to keep these 4 lines the same. I'm going to do the same pattern on each. So I'm just going to go around. I'm using the back now. Oops. Using the back. Putting some circles. So I have those 4 lines done. They're not done, so I'm gonna go back and add detail to them, but they're good for now. I'm gonna work on these, so I'm gonna using my colors and my stampers. I'm going to create a pattern for the next 4. It's kind of hard to wash these out really well, so sometimes I don't even like to wash them out. So I kind of just, if I'm keeping the big one blue, I'll just use that on all of them. So. basic design done, I'm going to go back and add some fun little lines. Right now I'm going to go in between the two pencil lines and just make lines of little dots coming out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the back of my brush and I'm going to kind of have fun with colors. I might mix up a whole bunch. I'm just going to add like little dots to kind of make some of these lines a little more interesting. Like I'll add some little dots going around some of the bigger circles. Just making sure like what you do on one of these lines, you do on the next one. Kind of at this point, like you could kind of mix some other colors if you'd like. So I'm just going to take some time and like add a little fun circles everywhere. A whole bunch of colors in there, have fun, and make it look like a snowflake a little bit. So I hope you guys had fun creating with me and have a great winter.